Hola, hola, it's your girl Erica from America. Welcome to the Confidence Chronicles podcast. This podcast is all about helping you stand in who you are. Stop giving a fuck what people think about you. Start standing as your fully expressed self. As you are, as is, there is no filter needed. You are fucking awesome, and I am here to remind you. I'm a confidence coach, and I'm a bold stand for confidence, and I cannot wait to dig into today's episode with you. Hello. How are you? I am good. I am nasally. My goodness, I haven't been nasally in a really long time. I'm not feeling sick. Don't got the vid. Don't worry. I'm not feeling sick. I just feel like sinus. You know when your nose is blocked and you sound like this? That's what I'm feeling, my friend. It is crappy. My little guy had sinus. My husband was sinusy. So I don't know what's going on. It's winter where we are and it's a strange weather situation. So you got a little nasally Erica today. That's all good. Doesn't matter because we're going to talk about a really awesome topic, something that excites me a lot. And I just wanted to talk about it because I've been coaching a lot of my women, a lot of my amazing clients, and this has been coming up so much. This whole idea about, you know, what's happened to us in our past and in our childhood and what's went on for us and the things that really are most of the time out of our control. You know, I talk openly about my past and my upbringing and my sexual abuse and, you know, growing up with a bipolar mother who, you know, she did the best she could, but it was really difficult to be physically abused and not know what was going to happen and when she would snap, you know, and grow up in foster homes and, you know, all the things. I talk about all of this stuff and when my husband died and when I was kidnapped by my dad, like there's so much stuff. If you're new to the podcast, you're like, holy shit, that's a lot of stuff. Listen to me. I have done my life lesson series within the podcast, so you can listen to every kind of situation that I overcame. And I shared it because I want you to feel seen, heard, and validated. And to be honest, I didn't know how else to share my story because sometimes it feels, I don't know about you, but I feel so big. Like, how can I break this story down? How can I unpack it? And so I did a series. If you haven't listened to it, we will link it in the show notes. It's called the Life Lesson Series. There's a bunch of episodes in there. I highly recommend you find them. They are within this podcast as well, so you don't have to go anywhere else. Anyway, back to it. So basically, you know, let's say, for example, when my husband passed away, when Gio died, it was unfortunate and, you know, it really scarred me in many ways. And when I was remarried to my current husband, Hamish, I remember when he would leave the house and he wouldn't come home for a while. It would be late. And if it started raining and it was dark and I hadn't heard from him, I would really freak out. I'd be like, oh my God, something happened to him. He's in an accident. He's probably dead somewhere. Like I just went into worst case scenario and it was really bad. And I was traumatizing myself because that's the experience I had with my first husband. You know, it was raining. He didn't come home. I didn't hear from him. And so if we're not careful about these things that happen to us, then what happens is we end up, you know, going through those same feelings and manifesting some similar idea, some similar experience based off of a past experience or a past thing that happened. And so in the title, and obviously what we're talking about is like, yeah, it's not your fault what happened to you, but it is your responsibility to work on it. It is your responsibility to heal your shit. It is your responsibility moving forward on how you're going to respond and who you're going to be because of that. And I have to tell you, the amazing Will Smith, he did a video on this. It's actually on my Instagram, in my IGTV, if you want to watch it, where he talked about it not being your fault, but it is your responsibility. And I love that. And one of my top values, if you've listened to the podcast, you know, is responsibility. And I'm going to quote Wayne Dyer because Wayne Dyer broke the word down as your ability to respond. That's what responsibility is. You have an ability to respond. You can respond with ability. And so what that word means is like, yeah, I have an ability. I can actually do something about this. Instead of when you point the finger outwards or when you don't take responsibility for your life and your results, you blame a person, you blame a situation, or you put it on someone else. And as I'm speaking, I'm pointing out. And as I'm pointing out, I put everything on them. It's on you. It's because of you. You did this to me. Why does this always happen to me? That kind of thing. And it's unfortunate because if it's on you, I can't fix it. If it's on someone else, I don't have the ability to respond. And so I wanted to do this episode, this quick episode, because many of us have went through sexual abuse, trauma, childhood trauma, being bullied, issues with our family members, our parents, not treating us the way we should have been treated, or making fun of the things that we care about and basically, ostracizing us from the family, or not validating us how we want, or us getting into shit relationships with really toxic people. My husband passing away and then me thinking that my new husband would pass away. There's so much that we go through. And although a lot of the things that happen to us as women in our upbringing as children are not our fault. It is not my fault that I was sexually abused at 5 years old or 7 years old or 9 years old. That is not my fault. But as a grown-up, as a grown-ass woman, it is now my responsibility to work on that. And that's what this is about. That's what this podcast is about. That's what this message is about. What area of your life do you need to respond to? What area of your life can you take responsibility for that you're not getting the results that you want, that you're not getting the outcomes that you want? Maybe your bank account, maybe your body image, maybe your relationships. You're really struggling to find love. You're really struggling to have great friendships. You keep fighting with your parents. You have a tiff that's been going on for years with your siblings. Maybe you get pissed off and you explode or you blow up at someone at work, and it's your emotions are a little bit out of all over the place, and you really want to start managing your emotions so you don't get so pissed off and yell at someone at work. What is it? The bank account, money, finances, relationships, love, life, purpose. There's so many areas. Your business. Like your business is not making money, your business is not growing, your clients are unhappy. These are all areas that if we are willing to take responsibility for, then we can go, you know what? How is this my responsibility? Not fault. It's not fault, okay? So there's no guilt needed. There's no, I didn't do this. It wasn't me. Why should I do this? Why should I have to fix it? I didn't create this. That's not what this message is about. So don't get it twisted. No one's saying it's your fault. But if you are a grown-up now and you really want your life to get better results and you want to claim the shit you want to claim and you want to create what you want to create and you're hitting, you're hitting speed bumps and you're going against the wall and you're not able to break through something, just consider that there's an area that you can take responsibility for. There's an area where you can go, what's happened in my business, for example, a client's not happy with something. And instead of me being like, oh, fuck that client, I don't give a shit, she doesn't know, blah, 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 take it personally, I could be like, okay, where's this client right? Where's this client right? What part of her argument is right, even though she was mean or even though it pissed me off or even though it hurt my feelings? If I can respond with ability, I could be like, you know what? She's right. Our customer service could have been better. You know what? She's right. We could have done this better. And then I could fix it. I could say, thank you for your feedback. And then under my breath, be like, you didn't have to be so fucking mean. But I could be like, thank you for the feedback, and go back to my team and fix it. I could take responsibility. I could fix it up and I could clean it up for the future. But if I go and I blame the client, or I go, it's on you, it's not my fault, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, I get into defense. Do you hear the wall coming up real quick? Like defense mode. And when you defend, and Byron Katie talks about this, without defense, there's no war. So your mother-in-law can literally not pick a fight with you unless you defend. Can you change your mother-in-law? Fuck no. Can you change your dad? Can you change anyone? No. As I always say, we have enough trouble trying to change our fucking selves. You think you're going to try to change someone else? No. But what can you do? Can you try to understand where they're coming from or what's going on or how that affected you, and now go, okay, it's my job now to fix up whatever I could fix up? And for me, this doesn't mean this needs to be your belief, but I'll tell you what, this belief has served me my whole life. This belief that I have now, that everything that happens in my life is my responsibility, that is a belief. It is a mantra. I'm fucking tattoo that shit to my heart. It's inside of me. That's how I run my company. That's how I run my relationship. That's how I run motherhood. That's how I run everything. Everything in my life is my responsibility. Say it with me now. Everything in my life is my responsibility. Okay? How does that feel? How does that feel to say that? To me, I used to cringe, or I used to get into the blame game, like everything except for that. No, that can't be my responsibility. And it's like, no, honey, everything. Can you say everything? And here's what happens. You get this strength, you get this power, you get so much back when you can say that, because now the it's over to you. Now the power is in your hands. Now the ability is in your hands. And if everything that gets created, good, bad, ugly, amazing, perfect, shitty in my life is on me, then yes, I get to take credit for the amazing stuff, but I also get to take credit for the not so amazing stuff. And then that means that I have the ability to change it. And that is fucking powerful. If I could change what's not working for me, it's in my court. The ball is in my court. And as far as I'm concerned, the only court I live in is mine, with my ball. So I'm not playing ball in nobody else's court. And I'm not throwing it to nobody else. It's on me always. And I love it, because that means I get to change, I get to evolve, I get to create whatever the fuck I want. I get to have everything I desire. Or I get to not. It's all on me. And I really believe that this is us as human beings. We get to choose our experience. We don't get to choose what happens for us, aka what most people say to us. We don't get to choose what happens to us. I say it happens for us, right? Even like I'm talking to you from sexual abuse, being fucking sexually, physically abused, from being traumatized, from losing my husband, breaking my back, like fucked up shit, okay? And I still believe it happened for me, because I did the work on it. I took responsibility for it. I realized, how could I fix it? What could I do with myself so that I could transform my trauma into triumph? Quite literally. And I know that it's possible for every human being, because I didn't think I would still be alive. I didn't think I would be sober. I didn't think I wouldn't be pregnant or homeless on the streets with the life I grew up in and the life I had. I have no fucking business living in Australia, living the life of my dreams. I'm making over $1 million in my business, helping women around the world, hiring staff. I have no business, but I'm here doing it. And it's not because anybody gave me a goddamn thing. It is because I worked. It is because I took responsibility for my shit. And I found a way to do what it is that I wanted to do. I found a way. I found a solution to all the fucking problems I kept telling myself I had. What if you didn't have problems and all you could find were solutions? When you take responsibility, that's what that gives you. It gives you the ability to find solutions. It gives you the ability to respond to yourself and to your life and to anything that happens. It is a gift. It is the best gift I gave myself, and it's a gift that I hope you give yourself. The gift of responsibility. It's not your fault. It is not your fault, all the terrible, horrible things that have happened to you. And honestly, I'm very sorry that terrible and horrible things happen to you and to women around the world, and to people, children, men, women, everyone. It makes me so sad and so sorry that that happens. But I also know that because of those moments, certain people choose to transmute that shit, that pain, and turn it into their power. And those people become resilient. And those people use those moments as the best moments that birthed them and created them. And that's what the power of taking responsibility for your life does. I love you. I hope they have a beautiful week. Thank you again for listening to the podcast. Let's take some damn responsibility for our lives. Let's make shit happen. Let's get what we want. Hello? We could all get what we want. If you need help with this, you know where to find me. Hit me up in the sisterhood. This is what we do. This is all we do. And I want to give a special shout out to my sisterhood women, the women that work with me for 12 months in my online program, in my Melbourne, in my Australia program, in my New Zealand program. All the women around the world that are in my program that show up to these calls, that cry, that share, that take responsibility, that unravel their past. Sisterhood women, I love you. I look up to you. You inspire me. You are my fucking hero. You show me and women everywhere what's possible when you're willing to take responsibility and you're willing to work on your shit. So to my sisters, I love you. Special high five, special congrats, and special love to you. Have a good week, y'all. My love, before you go, I really want to share this incredible opportunity with you, because if you're loving this podcast, then you will most likely love working with me for the next 12 months in the sisterhood. It's my year-long coaching experience, and I have really good news because we have shifted and changed the pricing. There is a new offer for 2021 because I know how many people struggled in 2020 financially, and I also know how much shit came up for us that we all need to be working on. So, year-long coaching program, the sisterhood with me. You can join in person if you live in Melbourne, or you want to fly to Melbourne 6 times a year, or you can join online where I coach live for the 12 months. You have me as your coach. You can hit me with any problems or questions you have. We coach live for 2 hours a month. It is next level shit. The community is incredible. If you want to learn more, head to my website, thequeenofconfidence.com/sisterhood, SISTA, sisterhood. I can't wait to welcome you.
Thank you so much for listening. I so appreciate your ears, your time, your energy, and your attention. Please do me a favor and head over to Apple iTunes, subscribe so that you don't miss an episode, share this episode with a sister who you know needs to hear it, and if you feel called to, leave me a review. I'd love to know what you think about the podcast. I'd love to know how this information is helping you change your world. Thank you so much for being here. I know that there are many podcasts you could listen to, and I really appreciate you listening to mine. Have a gorgeous week, honey.